today's event. We'll go ahead and start, but before we jump into the pitching session, we will have Odie's special presentation. It will last for about 50 minutes. And following by that, we'll have a pitching. And the Odie will give us a special speech on the XR markets trends and startups which investors are looking for. So please note that this session is pre-recorded and lasts for about 15 minutes. And following by that, we'll have 4 startups presentation. Okay?
Hello, South Korea. Thanks again for joining the inaugural AWE Nite Seoul. Since we have so many Korean startups interested in the global market and seeking international investors, I was asked to share my view of the current state of the market for XR startups. So today I'll go quickly through a bunch of charts that will give you a sense of really what's happening in the market and will help you tackle questions such as what's unique about this current wave of computing? What's the state of adoption today globally? We'll try to look at the size of the opportunity, current and future revenue estimates for AR and VR, and wrap up with some investment trends and what investors are really looking for in startups today. Okay? Let's get started. We're all here because the tech industry is in the midst of a new wave of spatial computing, which really underlines the metaverse. What separates this wave from previous waves is that it literally adds another dimension to computing. That's why when I'm asked about my definition of the metaverse, I like the simple version, which is it's a spatial internet where you're not looking at it on a 2-dimensional screen. You actually feel like you're in it. And of course, the underlying technologies for the metaverse are AR, VR, MR, or as we like to call it in general, XR. And why do we need a new wave? In short, it's more natural. It provides better experiences for users, and it's more engaging. And finally, and this is really the main driver that we're seeing these days, is that it's already demonstrating significant growth for businesses. I claimed before that spatial computing has reached the mainstream. So let's look at the evidence. Here's the state of adoption. Starting with big tech. The big players are all in, as mobile revenues are flat and they don't want to miss the next big wave. These big tech companies are investing billions in the new wave of computing, both hardware and software. We hear reports about tens of thousands of engineers at Meta, Apple, working on XR. And that would be intimidating for startups. But remember, there's always room for startups to disrupt the big guys. And we'll get more into it later on. When you look at businesses, enterprises, the adoption has skyrocketed to 91% of large corporations who have adopted XR or are in the process of adopting it. I think one of the big drivers here is FOMO. You know, when you're seeing your competitor using it, you might as well look at it yourself. But I think, again, the biggest reason for this is that it's demonstrating significant improvement on all aspects of the business, and especially over 25% increase in productivity in various applications. How are investors looking at it? Always a good measure for the health of a sector. You know, we've seen investments peak in 2017 and 2018, kind of the hype around AR and VR, but investment has been falling due to slower adoption of XR than many anticipated. But 2021 was a record year since 2018, and especially the last quarter of 2021 was a record quarter. This year, Q1 is already on pace to match what we've seen in 2021. So investments are strong in the XR market. And when you look at kind of overall adoption by consumers, the current numbers indicate that we have over 1.5 billion users of XR. You can see the split of how many are using it for various use cases. A big part of it is obviously on mobile AR, which is the most prolific device out there in the hands of consumers, but also growing numbers using VR for gaming, using AR for shopping, and even on smart glasses. Although we're not seeing a huge market yet, there's over 1 million people today that work with smart glasses to improve their job. All right, let's look at consumers in more detail. So here's a proof point. According to this recent survey, 30% of consumers in the US have tried mobile AR. And as you can see, a growing part of that is using it on a daily basis. So it's becoming an essential part that people want to use over and over again. This chart, by the way, is by Artillery Intelligence, headed by Mike Boland, which is one of my favorite XR analysts. And if you're interested in digging deeper, in more in-depth data, I'd be happy to help you reach out to Mike, as he's offering a special discount for the AWE community. Here's some more about the demographics. And it's pretty clear that the younger generations, millennials, Gen Z, constitute the majority of the target audience in this industry today. According to this report by Deloitte and Snap from last year, AR adoption is tracking similarly to the mobile usage boom we saw in the 2000s. And according to this prediction, by 2025, nearly 75% of all global population and almost all smartphone users will be frequent users of AR. And that's a great install base to build on. All right, now let's look at VR usage. Currently, 23% of US adults currently own a VR headset. However, it's not all good news because according to the same survey, non-VR users report relatively low interest in owning a VR headset. And as we know, it's one of these things that until you try it, you don't really know what you're missing. And if you look at the demographics for VR, once again, mostly the younger generation is using it. And again, still skewed towards male users. All right, let's take a look at the size of the opportunity. Where are we today with the entire market for AR and VR? Starting with mobile AR, revenue in 2021 actually exceeded expectations, and the growth is poised to continue. The big contributing sectors are enterprise, entertainment, digital goods, and e-commerce, along with significant growth in advertising revenue. All right, let's switch to smart glasses. When you look at head-worn AR devices and the revenue around it, 2021 was once again a record year from a revenue perspective, with enterprise glasses and enterprise solutions leading the charge, followed by creator tools for AR experiences, like the spectacle glasses and the Ray-Ban glasses by Meta. But as we all have been hoping for a few years now, consumer glasses are expected to start growing in the next couple of years, and that will start driving more revenue soon. When you look at the regional split, Asia Pacific is actually the biggest region for AR glasses. And I'm curious if you are seeing this in Korea. I know Korea has been seen as one of the most advanced when it comes to the metaverse. But how about glasses? Curious to hear and see in your comments. All right, let's look at the revenue for the VR side. So VR revenue in 2021 was also higher than many analysts expected. There was quite a jump from 2020, and that's largely thanks to the Meta Quest affordable and standalone device. And it's still on an upswing. In 2022, we're expecting to see this growth continuing. In terms of the main contributors to the revenue, of course, consumer hardware, then enterprise hardware, and that's followed by both consumer and enterprise software is growing really fast as well, now that you have this install base. So to sum up the size of the opportunity, here's a quick comparison of mobile AR versus head-worn AR versus VR market sizes. Because mobile AR obviously relies on existing devices that we already have in our pockets, the immediate opportunity is mostly there. And once consumer AR glasses start proliferating in the next few years, that market will start growing to eventually become the largest revenue driver in the spatial computing spectrum. All right, let's look at some of the recent trends and how they're impacting the market. Obviously, for the past 2 years, the entire world has been struggling with a devastating pandemic. But there is a silver lining. Work from home, WFH, has created a startup boom with a record 2.1 million new businesses in the US last year. And there's also an overall investment growth. VCs have raised a record $69 billion. And as the foundation for XR is becoming a commodity offered by some of the tech giants out there, startups are more focused on the higher value business solutions. So let's look at the leading sectors in the next slide. If you are wondering what investors are looking for, the answer may lie in what people want. And this chart shows what areas in VR are drawing most of the users. Entertainment and gaming are still at the top as expected, followed by socializing, social networks, hanging out, partying, joining musical events and live events. Then, of course, e-commerce, training, and travel as some of the biggest sectors that are showing user interest. All right, let's switch to some investment trends. And here's an interesting trend that I'm seeing. If at the peak of the VR hype from 2015 to 2018, it was just a handful of investors that are really focused on XR, and they were leading most of the investments. But what's happening now is that it's much more open. We're seeing more sector-specific investors in various verticals that invest in XR use cases that relate to their expertise, the other companies in their portfolio. And, of course, metaverse with NFT and Web3 craze, the investments there are growing at a pretty astonishing level. But it's not always related to XR. So we'll talk about it more later, but you have to be careful about using some of these keywords in your pitches. Because, the fundamentals are still the same. Despite the pandemic, despite the craziness around the metaverse and NFT, it's important to remember that for investors, for investment decisions, the same fundamentals apply. We're looking at always a great team, passionate about solving real problems in a sizable market and with a meaningful business model. When I ask startups, what's your business model? And the only answer is, we'll sell NFTs. It doesn't always go well. And adding the metaverse to your marketing communications or to your tagline is something you have to do with a lot of care. You have to make it meaningful. Because most investors would roll their eyes when they see the M word mentioned in your deck. Now let's look at some of the data about investments recently. We have a set of charts from a recent report by Traxon, which has been tracking AR investments. And to give you a sense of the number of startups and their progress through the funding rounds. So you can see nearly 4,000 AR startups were founded in just the last few years. And we're starting to see that more mature companies are going beyond Series A to later rounds. And that's, again, a sign of maturity in investments. As we said before, investments peaked in 2017 and 2018, And since then, it has fallen mostly due to slower adoption than people expected. But 2021 was a record year. And according to this chart, 2022 is already on track to matching the number in 2022. And again, the size of the deals has grown. So we're seeing smaller number of deals, but higher investment rounds, which again is a great sign of maturity of the industry. Just to give you a sense of the size of different rounds, we can check it out here with the average investment round in each one of these steps. And that's good as you go to European or American investors to know what's the numbers that they're expecting in each one of these rounds. The acquisition path is one of the most promising exits for AR startups at the moment. The average exit offers pretty decent returns, but not significant returns so far. We've seen, an average of $50 million for exits over about 10 to 15 in funding, which is, about a 3x return for investors. Not too bad, but we know that investors are looking for significantly higher returns. And that's kind of a way to encourage startups to try and keep their companies run for a longer period of time, have a bigger runway, focus on value, focus on delivering revenue before you give up and go for an acquisition. Here are some of the most active acquirers in the past few years. This is a chart from 2021, so I would definitely add Qualcomm to this list. And it's also missing some companies with aggressive growth strategy through acquisitions like TeamViewer and Nextech, which have made over 3 acquisitions just in the past year. And here's just a quick summary of some of those charts and data. You can see some of the top fundraisers, the investors, and the exits. By the way, all these slides are shared with you, so you can take your time to dig into it after the talk. So to close the loop where we started, the bottom line is that we're headed to an inevitable inflection point, a shift from 2D computing to spatial computing. And we expect that in the near future, we'll cross that point and have more spatial computing tech sold than mobile-related tech. And that's why we're all in this business, right? So with that said, thank you very much for the opportunity to speak with you. I'm sure you have lots of questions. Happy to answer the question. Just reach out to me via this email. And if you're interested in a bit more of an in-depth work with you on your investments or your strategy, I also run a startup fundraising 6-week course as part of the AWE Academy. So check it out at this link. And if interested, I'll be happy to see you there in the next quarter. Best of luck to you all. Go spatial. Thank you.
Okay, so that was a special presentation by Ori. We were able to see XR market trends and, a lot of things that he has talked about it. And I'm pretty sure that all those information was very helpful for all the startups that are working in the XR field. So thanks again. And one of one person actually asked us about how she can get Ori's presentation, and you are welcome and feel free to contact Ori if you want to get more information about his presentation. So, okay. It's time for us to present you our greatest 4 startups that are located in South Korea. And the first company's name called VIRNECT. So VIRNECT is an industrial XR solution provider which aims to improve safety and work efficiency by developing and commercializing AR technologies for the industrial field with remote collaboration and so on. So I'm very excited to introduce you. And through AWE Nite Seoul, Vernekt aims to increase brand awareness and search for strategic and business international partners. So, Tajin, CEO of Vernekt, is ready to explain the next industrial XR solution.
Hello everyone, I'm Tajin Ha, the CEO of Vernekt. Thank you for joining today's event. I'm excited to introduce Vernekt and how we are redefining immersive XR technology. Vernekt was founded in 2016, and since then we've grown exponentially and placed ourselves as the leading XR solution provider in Korea. I'm excited to announce our recent successful $30 million Series B funding round and the start of our expansion globally, which will begin with the United States and Europe. Vernekt XR solutions help to solve industrial-wide problems like inefficiency, know-how transfer, and other issues. Let me show you through this video.
Experts' knowledge, schematics, or user manuals, which have been difficult to get hold of. Creating XR content solves these problems since the required information is visually accessible right when you need it the most. You can import existing files such as 3D models and PowerPoints to quickly create immersive experiences without writing a single line of code. The content can be visualized through various devices depending on the nature of industrial environment. Also, write up a virtual report so the other team members can check them from their offices. If a problem requires a support from experts located in remote areas, bring the person to your immediate reality using Remote. It instantly translates up to 10 different languages, so you can communicate with people in the other side of the globe. Remote supports smartphone, glasses, 360-degree camera. Also, for the areas where it is dangerous to visit, you can send over drones and robots instead. The industrial site requires the highest level of security. The solution can be deployed in the secured network such as MDM, Key LTE, and VPN. Maximize security further by camera control and limiting location access using GPS information. Extend your knowledge, experience, and reality.
We built experience and know-how in a variety of sectors with a broad range of clients. A small sample is shown here. Due to our best experience, we are able to meet any challenge with security at the forefront of our focus. Our business models focuses on catering for both products such as remote, make view, track and twin, and customer-specified products, which are turn keep offering customized to meet special customer needs. We also offer content creation and education services to lower the barrier of leveraging XR. Lastly, in Q4 of this year, we will launch a development and content portal to grow the XR ecosystem. Our native AR SDK, Vernekt Track, can track multiple objects without the use of image features. It showcases high-level tracking technology. Vernekt Track will be available on web, making it accessible to many people. Further details will be provided at AWE Europe later this year, so please stay tuned. This is just a short glimpse of exciting things happening at Vernekt. Meet us at AWE USA. Please stop by our booth. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. So the presentation, the first startup The presentation was by Vernekt, and we would like to have a Q&A session. So it's time for you to ask any of questions. If you have, you can actually write it down on the chat box. Anyone has a question?
Please feel free to ask any questions.
We also have actually people have been asked, give us previously the questions about the Vernekt. So let me start with this question then. Okay, what is the differences between other XR solutions and your unique points? What is your selling points? Vernekt.
Okay, our selling points.
The main key points that are different.
Okay. Thanks. So it's, our XR solution is very oriented for industrial use cases, and the industrial customers, they are very overprotective over their data. So our solutions can deployed within their own premise or their private cloud server. So that's one of the key advantages that we've got. And also, we've got 70% of our developers, the employees are developers, so we've got a very strong customization ability to fit to the customer's needs.
Okay. So then, if you are looking for a global partners or in global areas, what is Vernekt? What do you guys really want? What exactly things that you are looking for from the partners or investors? Anything?
So we all know that the USA is the biggest market in the world in terms of XR industry, and we are seeking to invest in expansion into USA market. Hence, we are looking for our partners there. And we already have our sales agent hired, working with us. His name's Dan Sherman. He'll be at the show at the Santa Clara as well. So yes, what we are seeking is to global expansion, starting from USA, and then expand into Europe. And hence, we need partners.
Okay, so we have a question by Dave. What does it take to get started with your solution? Upfront time and costs.
What does it take? So it's just we've got two business models. One's like a SaaS business model where customers just can log in and purchase our product and apply the license, and just it'll take a couple of minutes to use it straight away. And in terms of devices, they can just hop onto the PC, and the on-site technicians can just wear smart glasses, and it's all good to go.
Okay, so that was by Vernekt, and thank you, two of you, for answering the questions. Once again, if you are interested in meeting with Vernekt for a deep dive meeting afterwards, please fill out the meeting request form linked on the chat box. And then you are get to go to meeting with the Vernekt. So thank you, Vernekt people. Okay, let's move on to our next pitching. This company is called MARVRUS. And MARVRUS is a metaverse company specializing XR and VR content, B2B metaverse as a service offerings, and the B2C metaverse platform that integrate the MARVRUS emotion AI technology. I'm not the expert of these kind of areas, exactly what they're doing, but I'm very excited to hear about their presentation, what is their work. So through AWE Nite Seoul, MARVRUS is looking for the network with investors, partners, and other leaders in the XR and metaverse field to build a revolutionary virtual world with a trusted partner. So let's hear from them.
Hi, everybody. Nice to meet you all. Dave, Ori, Andrea, Myung. My name's Danny. I'm Chief Strategy Officer here at MARVRUS. We're a metaverse startup aiming to become the Roblox of Korea. Let's start here. it seems like these days not a day goes by without hearing about another company raising hundreds of millions of dollars going into the metaverse, or a celeb doing something in the virtual space. But if you think about the real world, and I don't want to contradict Ori here, but when you ask your neighbor or the average person, right, if how many hours do you spend in the metaverse every week, even every month, probably close to zero. So how does this map to the real world and what's happening with consumers? Well, here's an unlikely group of people who are actually putting in their 10,000 hours, so to speak, in the virtual world, and it's children. So this figure says it all. 75% of all children in the US between 9 and 12 years of age are playing Roblox every single week. I tried to cross-check this. I have a friend who has daughters in New York living there. They love Roblox, so I managed to call, asked, hey, Haley, why do you like Roblox so much? What brings you there? And not once did she mention the M word, metaverse. She said, no, because it's fun, because I get to play with friends. I get to design my own avatar, build anything I want, houses, whatever it may be, and they get to play on whatever their friends created as well. So for me, that is just summed up in one word, freedom. So that's my aha moment. It brought me back to when I was 9 or 10, playing with Legos in the living room of my parents' house just with my friends. And it's the same thing, I realized, except now in the metaverse, there are no physical world limitations. So let's bring this back. As shown, there is a tangible big difference that the metaverse is making, changing the world right now for children. It's making them into creators and free thinkers. And we at MARVRUS see this as a big opportunity. We're doing something about it. We have 7 years of experience in the children's education industry here in Korea, and our amazing team of 70-plus people includes some of the best Unity developers and 3D modelers in the country. So we are starting to make, we've made a product introducing Memes. Memes is an open-world study metaverse platform for children focusing on play and education. So Memes will make accessible to children the tools to make them confident and smart creators, and the ability to deliver amazing play and learning experiences. And here's the important part, in a safe and positive space. So these are our 4 pillars, core 4 pillars of our product: safety, collaboration, creativity, and rewards. Memes is set to launch in the June of this year, and we will be fully cross-platform by next year, and we're one of the first movers in the children education metaverse space. So very exciting things. But it's a big market, right? So how are we going to stand out? What makes our experience with Memes unique is the integration of our emotion AI technology. MARVRUS Emotion Engine, ME for short. What it allows us to do is, by using computer vision and biometric sensing technology, it allows for an emotion-based, personalized metaverse user experience. And it only does that by requiring a camera, simple camera on your device. So what does that mean? Applied to Memes, this will allow for emotive communication in the metaverse. Not many people are doing this right now, and we find it very exciting. Imagine real-time facial animation on avatars. So just remember one thing: Me will enable real-world emotions in the metaverse. Finally, leveraging our experiences as a full-stack metaverse builder, we're working with companies now as well, not just developing. We're building now and releasing products, custom metaverse spaces. So if you're a company or brand that is asking yourself the question, how do we participate in the metaverse? How do I establish my presence? Please come talk to us. We'll be excited to have the conversation. All in all, MARVRUS's corporate strategy revolves around these core strengths. And through it, we want to become a global player. And I'm really excited that we got to present here today. Really quickly on our traction, we started in 2015 as a XR VR content creator, so that's our bread and butter. And our vision is backed by some of the best investors in the Korean tech space. We just closed our Series A funding round last year, and we're looking to raise again in Q3 of this year. So love this opportunity that I get. I want to engage global investors as well to join in on our vision. It's very clear and I think ambitious. We want to be creating an interoperable ecosystem of beautiful metaverse platforms which are uniquely powered by our emotion AI. And we want to bring in this next chapter of the future of the internet while keeping as our priority the safety of our children. So that's it for me today. Thank you so much. I'd love to take any questions, discuss. Yeah.
Thank you. So the presentation was by MARVRUS. Danny, good job. Good job for your presentation. Okay, so right now we are very sorry for technical inconvenience right now. In Korea here, everything is clear. We can hear it well, but I know some of you are having trouble with hearing and watching our presentation that are here. We are very apologize for all inconvenience. And later on, all this information and recordings with a great quality will be posted and will be presented in the AWE site. So we are very sorry once again, but we'll go ahead and start our questions session for MARVRUS. So I have one question that says, so to MARVRUS, what kind of international partners that are looking for? Tell us about the specific partners.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think our top priority is to launch memes and have a successful launch and traction. So in terms of how that maps to our international strategy, we're looking for global investors. Metaverse is inherently a global-facing technology, and we don't want to limit our memes experience to just local, domestic, the market. So the know-how, it's not just about the money, it's about the know-how, network, and the wisdom that we may be able to get from an international partner that we don't have in-house.
Thank you. So Danny, do you have any more things before we let you go
No, please add me on LinkedIn. I will find you as well. I'm Danny Cho again. Thank you for this opportunity and hope to see you guys again.
Okay, so that was by MARVRUS. And same as the Vernekt, if you are interested in meeting with MARVRUS, please fill out the meeting request form posted on the chat box. Okay, we'll go ahead and meet our third company. It's called Crispy. And Chris Son, CEO of Crispy, will give us a pitch. So Crispy creates online and to offline XR metaverse platform to connect metaverse to real world in the middle. I don't know how that works, but I'm very excited to hear about their technology. And two platforms are called Noricube and Metacube. Through AWE Nite Seoul today, Crispy is looking for the opportunities to help and co-work with any global metaverse partners who want to get real locally. Okay, we'd like to hear more on how Crispy plans to collaborate on how metaverse get in real. Let's hear from them.
안녕하세요. Hello everyone. My name is Chris from Crispy. My name is very easy to remember. We all know XR. What is XR is, right? So exact same spelling. XR is Chris. So I graduated from City University of New York, majoring in film. I created a roller coaster boy Nori, which is an animation internationally airing on 19 countries. So you can actually watch on Amazon Prime and any other countries. So let me talk about the current situation of XR or Metaverse. We all know the Metaverse is getting bigger because according to the Otis presentation, just we watched, the Metaverse is getting bigger, all the big players are all in. But the thing is, we have limited time, so it seems like the real world is getting smaller. There is some samples in Korea. The second-hand market, which is called the Dangun market, we can trade the local second-hand goods in local area. Actually, the number of users in 1 year, like almost over tripled. Now, almost half of the people in Korea is using this app. Just for 1 year, it happened. And also number of the convenience stores getting increased significantly. So people seem to find some goods in your local area. But what about the experience? Because lots of people are spending time in Metaverse, they want to spend some experience probably in local areas. So that's why the Nori Cube is born. We want to meet in the middle. Between Metaverse and the real space. So as you see, Nori Cube is about like 10 square meter room. So you can get some VR and any like Metaverse experience in a small group of people by touching on the walls, because we have sensors. So you can interact with any Metaverse content. You can swipe, you can touch, you can play game. So let me show you some brief video of Nori Cube. Oh, sound. Yeah. Actually, it has a sound. So this is for your better understanding of Nori Cube. So as you just watched, so we provide like 3 different types of content. The first is a digital escape room game. So by using our own IP Nori, which is a roller coaster character, he's living in a theme park, Nori Park. So inside the Nori Park, you can escape the room. So you have to play some games, you have to solve the quizzes to escape the whole park. And also you can experience any digital immersive art by touching the art content itself. Well, actually, Nori Cube is an activation already in Seoul, in Korea, 4 different locations. So we like to expand more places in your near area. So our mission is now we want to connect all the metaverse inside the NotiCube, which is called MetaCube. So actually, these are in progress right now. So with some companies and partners, we are now building a connecting Meta Town, which is Meta City in NotiCube, and also as you just watched on the clip, so we want to connect any metaverse classroom inside our NotiCube, and also Meta Farm inside our NotiCube, which is good for the people, group of people. This is really good for the school and good for any local area. Actually, Crispy is already near you. As I just mentioned, Nori, roller coaster boy Nori animation is like over tons of channels in your area, including CCTV in China and on Amazon Prime. Also, our actual physical space called Nori Kids Center is in 5 locations. One is in Frankfurt, Germany. So you can just stop by. You can get any kinds of experience. So we like to welcome any partners or investors who are interested in Crispy business. So XR is Chris. So easy to remember the name. Okay. So thank you for listening our presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris. So same question to Crispy. Since this is global gathering, right? The AWE Nite, since we have all the partners and workers, people, the experts in the field out there for today's gathering. So actually, we wanted to ask you what kind of international partners that are looking for. But right now, we understand, we know that we are having a difficulty with our technology of broadcasting over here. We are very sorry once again. After today's event, we will have all the recordings that will be posted on the webpage with a great quality. So we really apologize for the inconvenience of hearing today's presentation, because here in Korea, everything is great, but we are still figuring out why the program and the broadcasting does not working well. So we really apologize for that. We'll go ahead and hear from our last company. They have been prepared for the pitch. It's called Emotion Wave, and actually we will not have the Q&A sessions following by the last pitch, but we will go ahead and have a pitch. So Emotion Wave provides metaverse XR content solutions and services that combine various advanced ICT technologies into music. And through today's program, they are looking for and they want to promote its excellent platform and technology, as well as find right partners and investors to collaborate together. So let's see how music is converted into the metaverse.
Hello, everyone. It is such a pleasure to invite me to AWE Nite 2022. My name is Ryo Jang, a founder and CEO of Emotion Wave. Today, I'm here to present our innovative metaverse platform. Before we begin the presentation, let me briefly introduce our company. Emotion Wave provides a metaverse concert solution that combines various cutting-edge ICT technology with music. Here at the bottom is our main services, RIMA, the AI music platform, Ample, NFT-based digital human entertainment platform, Mew, a global K-pop and music education platform. Currently, many changes are taking place in the performance industry due to COVID-19 and the development of technology. Even though we are facing the end of pandemic regulation, innovation in concert industry is still going on. Muta XR is the world's only 5G-based Metaverse XR concert production platform. through 5G-based XR technology and live streaming technology. Anyone can create an immersive concert that is completely free from the constraints of time and spaces. Here is a brief multi-XR service process. By creating digital human, user can implement avatars into XR stage. And also by creating AI music contents, they can generate NFT revenue by hosting virtual concerts. This is really great because with multi-XR, you can host metaverse concert on PC, web, and even on mobile. It is so customizable that you can create various scale of stages. You don't have to be professional to host your own concert. And you also can utilize a lot of genre, and such as classical music, dance, opera, and theater. Here is a key technology conceptual diagram. A user can upload 4K video files, live streaming, and map themselves to 3D avatar, or upload volumetric AR on multi-XR, creating tool to host to integrate immersive concert via smart TV or 5G device. In multi-XR, performers and audiences from around the world are connected to the metaverse. And through this, various services such as 5G-based virtual remote ensemble, real XR concert, and community activities are available to experience. Now on, we will explain the core technologies that make multi-XR possible. Within the space of multi-XR, alter ego are essential. The digital human can be implemented in variety of ways similar to the users or in completely new form, and natural movement like a human is realized through facial capture and motion capture technology. We are developing various technologies such as volumetric AR production technology, VL-based virtual space production technology, and projection mapping technology so that people can create more interactive metaverse XR concerts through multi-XR. Emotion Wave has competitive music AI technology, and with this, we support multi-XR users to create music contents. This is a melody that we support a melody that famous Korean singer Park Wan-gyu hummed on the spot. AI collects information from this melody and analyzes the genre to create a complete piece of music. The music AI technology enables people without musical knowledge to create, record, and release music. In order to protect the music contents created in this way and to be able to monetize it within multi-XR, we have adopted NFT. With NFT, we plan to provide various functions to users such as not only authenticating and protecting the ownership of creation, but also easily paying for concert profit and using it for events. Based on these technologies, process, and achievement, we will grow into a leading metaverse company in the distribution, education, creation, performance, and broadcasting field of entire music cycle. Thank you very much.
Thank you. That was by Emotion Wave. And same as previous pitching companies, if you're interested in meeting with Emotion Wave, please fill out the meeting request form on the chat box. Okay, so this was the last company that gives a presentation, and we were very excited to be here to present you about our startups, but we were very sad, and we apologize for technical inconvenience. But later on, we will make sure that all the information will be reach out to you with the great qualities, all the videos, presentations, and all the informations. So please keep that in mind. And if you have any interest on meeting with them for more information, collaboration, or partnership, please fill out and please contact us as well. Well, we will wrap up today's event. Thank you everyone for being here with us today. Until we meet again, thank you so much.